Getting a post-match interview here at the Erie following today's 2-1 defeat to Biggleswade Town. Dave, obviously always disappointing to lose a derby match, but it was a much improved performance on the New Year's Day performance.
Yeah, I don't think it could be any worse than the New Year's Day performance. We just got stop fold, go over and over and over it again. They did a great job on us, and I'm afraid I don't think we turned up for the game, which I told them at the start of today. Different type of game today, different Biggleswade play, and it was a good game, and I thought we put up a great show. First half they had two good chances early, which they don't take. They get it's a great finish, by the way, but poor from us for JJ to get his goal. Allowed him basically let him have the whole pitch to run into and pick his spot. And then I thought our response was great, and we got our equaliser in the second half, and until the incident with Adam Hunt, I felt we were on top. I thought they were, they're panicking at the back, and they're under pressure, which they will be, because they're, with what they've got in that side now and what was on the bench, they're one of the big. I've said it in the programme notes. They're matching Bedford for budgets and what they're paying out. So they got their managers are under an awful lot of pressure to get results. You could tell that from how they were on the bench, and in the end, look, credit to them, they found a way to get there. So it's one of those. But in terms of our performance today, we couldn't be any more proud of them. We've got unlucky with a decision, I think, but it is what it is. The referee was good enough to chat to us, and so it is what it is. But from the chalk and cheese from the last game, but we had. Look, I think although we had most of the same players, we had a completely different team in the change room at the start of this game than we did against Northfield.
Do you think, obviously injuries are hurting us at the moment? I felt the first sort of half an hour or so we struggled to make any real impression from an attacking sense.
Yep.
Do you think it was because of the Stopfold game that we maybe looked like we were lacking a little bit of belief and a little bit of confidence?
Yeah, 100%. We spoke about that, and I said to I understand it, because when you've had your backside smacked like we did, then you kind of almost. Well, you're not playing. There's sort of no freedom, and we just spoke about being braver. We spoke I felt fast at first half that Amari wasn't that great. Second half, I thought he started to give him real problems.
Do you think he was isolated a little bit? Because I said to Tim in the first half, I felt we had an extra defender there to obviously because of what happened at Stopfold, but I felt it sort of stopped us being as much of a force going forward because we had an extra defensive body rather than an attacking body. Yeah,
there is. We did. I agree that we kind of played with a single man up top, and George was allowed a bit of freedom. But then I'd also say to you, and again we spoke to him at half time. I felt that he just allowed them to sort of dominate him a little bit, and the difference is second half. And I explained to him, with great respect to their three defenders, but he doesn't need to be level with them. He can get himself in a bit of space, and they're not going to get to him, as proved with the penalty. In the end, they had to force him down for the penalty. So give yourself that little bit of space to play. Once he started picking up, and I'm not talking about dropping 10 yards off him, he dropped 5 yards off. They allowed him to drop 5 yards off. He started to cause them a real problem, as George was doing all game, because he just finds them little pockets. And once he started to play as we know he can play, I thought he'd become a bit of a menace to them, and cause them some right problems. So he's earned us a penalty, and he caused them an awful lot of problems. So you're right, but I do feel that perhaps he didn't play that role as well as he can. And the other thing we said at half time was, and again going back to you talking about the previous game, is we were slow, and we didn't move it quick enough, which we did second half, and hence second half we couldn't. And even once we went down to the 10 men, I felt we still given problems as well. So yeah, but pleased overall, we're both pleased with how we played.
Skip, obviously there was some big moments in the game that obviously played a big role in the outcome. Obviously, we get the penalty initially. What was your view of that? Then obviously Adam is sent off with 13 to go, and then 2 minutes later they've got a penalty. How did you view all those incidents in terms of and obviously how it affected the game?
Quite interesting really, because it's all about angles. I thought our penalty was soft, if I'm going to be honest with you. If that had been given against us, I'd have been fuming. Everybody down that side said the same. Referee's given his version afterwards, so he sees it as a penalty, so that was in our favour. I think the incident that's changed the whole game is the one where Adam is bursting into the box and the guy's been done for handball, but he's deemed it as accidental. But I'm saying he knows what he's doing. It was quite telling that, as I say, there was that incident, and obviously Brett potentially got away with one as well when they were both substituted straight after both incidents. Well, it'd be interesting to watch it on video. That's the beauty of nowadays. You can video games, you can go back, and sometimes angles prove people wrong or prove people right. So, look, I think it's cost us a game. They're a good side. That game is a 50-50 game. So when we played them recently, we scored a goal that probably shouldn't have. It's gone through the goalkeeper. That changed that course of that game. So there's always incidents in games that can change the outcome. So, and I just think that one has changed it because it's a second yellow. Adam's copped it. He's got the ump because he knows it's a yellow. He knows it's a second yellow. He knows he was bursting the box, and he said something, and the referee's booked him, which has then come back to haunt him. And then the second yellow. Well, I'm sitting there. He's won that ball cleanly for me. Yeah, I can't see it. And you're on about the penalty. I've still got red mist from the first incident, so I didn't see much of the last 10 minutes of the game. But joking aside, it's one of them. We can come out of this game with our heads held high because we have matched them all over the park. We've got better. We had a very poor game New Year's Day, and Dave touched on it earlier on. That performance hindered us for the first 25 minutes of this performance because we were a little bit more defensive, a little bit more tighter at the back, which then affected us going forward. But we had to be tight at the back so we didn't concede an early goal, and then suddenly it could end up on the back of another 2-3, 4-0. So as a group, as managers and coaches, we've had to set out a game plan, and to be fair, the lads were superb. The goal they scored is preventable. We go in at 1 down. The next goal's massive. We get it. A little bit of luck with the penalty, but we get it. And then I'm thinking we're looking very good. We camped in their half. We've had 2 or 3 free kicks that have flown across the edge of the box. We could have had people on the edge of them, on the end of them. Sorry. We were just starting to control it. We were winning the second balls. We were getting them to the wings. We were getting them in the boxes. Jack, their keeper, has produced a couple of great claims from crosses. One of them actually looked like it was flying in the top corner and he's got stuck in the mud, but he still claimed. So yeah, one decision's changed the whole game. But you have to learn with that. We've had it this season where decisions have gone in our favour. So one of those. I think sometimes it's just because it's the opposition that makes this one hurt a little bit more, but we dust ourselves down and we go again. Proud of all the lads, proud of everybody today, because I think they've given everything, and that's the bottom line. All me, Dave, James, Tim can ask is, as long as we walk off that pitch and we've given everything, no complaints.
Whereas we had, again, a few players in the wars. Obviously Charlie went off, so we actually ended up finishing the game with 9 men. What can you tell us about that? Is it too early to know at the moment?
Too early to know. He was right at the end of the game. Again, Charlie, he's had an injury-prone season where he's come in, gone out, come in, gone out. So I'm hoping it's nothing serious for him. I mean, it's quite funny really, because sometimes you look at his fitness and we took him off towards the end of games where his fitness had gone. But I thought today it was the other way round. He actually was looking stronger and better and fitter as the game went on, especially the second half. No coincidence, the second half as we started, it was him that was picking the ball up and it was him that was keeping it simple and kept it moving, and it allowed everyone else to play. So I'm hoping it's not, I haven't really spoken to him yet, but I'm hoping it's not a serious one or a long-term one.
Finally, Dave, just we had a couple of new faces in today. Clymani came in at centre half and Dylan came off the bench. How do you think they did?
Clymani was again, Stevenage were good enough to loan him across to us. We just lost Dan, as we know. We're a little bit light in that department, albeit we've got a couple of boys coming back. And we just made the decision in this room earlier to just chuck him straight in. And he's had one training session with us. You couldn't tell anything from that because obviously training is all on the floor. And I spoke to him out there first 5 minutes. I thought, not sure. I thought he just got stronger and stronger. Started carrying out defence.
Seemed quite cool in possession.
Yeah.
And didn't seem to get flustered by too much.
I mean, like 18 years of age, he's carrying the ball out. There were times where we'd be, and he was instrumental. Like he was up further upfield, they'd break away, and his pace was getting him back to stop them hurting us. He's had a great game. When I report back today, I can't be any more pleased with his performance. And we've got him for a month and a half, I think, haven't we? Which should be perfect for us because, in terms of getting boys back, it'll be handy. But it might be in a situation where we'll be gutted to lose him. But to be fair to Jordan and Stevens, they monitor things okay. It might end up that we get him a little bit longer. They've probably just done the short term for now. And Dylan, we hope we've got, once we get him back to full fitness, we think we might have a little superstar on our hands. He's a full-time pro at both MK Dons and Oxford United. And there's a newspaper article, I think, where Man United and Chelsea looking at him, he was at MK Dons. We've had him, he turned up for training Monday and Wednesday. We found out he was at Cranfield, who were good enough to waive 7 days. Is he ready yet? No, he's not. Which he knows. I mean, he's a nice, quiet-spoken lad. He's a nice lad. So we're trying to fast track him as quick as we can and get some fitness into him. He's got on the end. There's a great move late in the second half that he gets on the end of, and if you look at it, you probably say he's missed a potential great opportunity, but. As I walked in and was talking to him after, and he said it bobbled on me. Well, I walked down to that goal.
It was really boggy, wasn't it?
Oh my life, It was awful. So, in fact, in the first half, there was one move that JJ went down the right hand side and looked like he just tripped over one of them lines in the ground. There was nobody near him. So when you've got a player as, if you like, as graceful as him falling over it, you can say a lot about it. And it wasn't. Like Bedford had got it on. They've done a great job. Pitch played. It didn't cause any issues in the game. It's Biggleswade attacked. Both of us attacked on this. Both of us are defenders on it. It was hard when he was down that end of the pitch, but we were both down there at one stage. So, but pleased with both. Dylan will be a couple of weeks. We've got to work out, and I've spoken to him about what we can do and what we can't do, because we've got a lot of games. We've also got the potential to force some minutes into him through the reserves, but we'll talk about it with him, and he's doing the right work at the gym as well. So it's not like, I don't think it'll be too long, and I think if we can get him fit, we might be like real lucky. We've picked up something special that we didn't even know about until he arrived on our doorstep. So pleased with both of them.
Good stuff. Try and enjoy your evening, gents, and we will see you on Wednesday, weather permitting.
Excellent.
Thank you.